Hello and welcome everyone, this is Type V3 and today we're taking a look at the Fansproject CA-04 STORMBOMB from their Causality Crossfire series. This of course is their second entry into the homaging G1 Insecticons, this figure specifically homaging the character of Bombshell. Now this guy is based off of a rhinoceros beetle, if that wasn't obvious from the giant horn at the front of the guy, and he's got more purples than blacks as opposed to Thundershred. Now, let's be honest here, this thing is really just a huge square block with tiny Insecticon legs, and that's kinda okay with me. I think it kinda works. Now, the horn itself is nice, but the entire front of the body, specifically the head, is a little bit confusing. You don't really know where the head starts or ends, but I guess the whole thing works rather well. In terms of size, he is a little bit small. In fact, he's the smallest of all the Insecticons that Fansproject puts out. And he also comes with this chain, which unfortunately you can't store on him anywhere. Now the horn itself is adjustable as expected, as are the legs, and even the little tips can come in and out. The front claws can move as well, and even though there's no official way to store this chain, you can plug it into the bottom of the claws here and then just be creative from here on out. Now a chained horn is a cool concept, but it does add a little bit of problems. Namely, it does add height to the front of the figure and it does lift his rear up, making him unable to fully touch the ground. But if I had to be honest, as cool as this alt mode is, it isn't very interesting, so let's just move on with this video and check out his transformation. Like Thundershred before him, STORMBOMB's transformation relies more on small little detailed steps versus one large movement. What I will say is when you're sliding out his legs, they are pegged in tight, so you have to pull hard. As for his insect legs, they don't really peg in anywhere, so you kinda just have to place them where you see fit. As for the shoulders, there's only just enough clearance to allow the transformation to happen, so be careful, otherwise you do risk pulling the shoulders out. After that, it's a matter of just simply pegging things where they belong. Overall, this transformation is the easiest of the three, however, that's not to say that it is simple. You will have to transform this guy a couple times before you get it down. Just like his alt mode, STORMBOMB's color scheme is mostly purple with black and yellow highlights. The silhouette on this guy is absolutely wonderful. I like the proportions here as he's not too wide, not too muscular, but he still has enough weight behind him to look imposing. The head sculpt is brilliant here. It looks like a cross between a knight's helmet along with an executioner. The red eyes are nice, but what I really love is the black lining they put around it. Weapons on his shoulders and his back help to extend the overall silhouette, and the missile pod shoulders, along with the huge shins, large belt, and narrow midsection, give this guy almost a heroic feel to him. Now, he is really small. Compared to most deluxes, even some of the smaller deluxes, he still won't stand toe-to-toe with them. But don't be fooled, he is not a scout class figure. He's just a little short, but yes, the width does make up for that. Now, Thundershred's head is on a nice ball joint, but because of the design of this figure, these shoulders, plus the fact that there's a little crest here from the alt mode, means that it's hard to really get at it to move it, so that's a little design flaw, but something I can easily overlook. The shoulders themselves are on a ball joint, and the shoulder piece armor is on a separate ball joint that's on a hinge, so it gets out of the way, and this arm can actually move really nice because there's also a second hinge here from the transformation. Again, there's a nice elbow hinge, and then the elbow is on a swivel. No wrist swivels here though, so that is a little bit of a disappointment, and these things can kind of move wherever you want them to. There is a waist here that's nice, and what I really like here is his sort of belt waist thing. These things are adjustable, so because of the way his legs are, which are on a nice, or his hips, which have a nice ball joints, they can come up, and so can his I guess his belt. So that's a really nice thing they added there. Of course, there is a thigh swivel and a single jointed knee that can only go just slightly less than 90, which is a big disappointment for me. I could have wished that was double jointed, but oh well. And some really nice ankle here, so you can get some nice wide-legged stances. It even goes down, so that's really nice there too. Overall, great articulation. Got a little bit of issues, but it's nothing too major that will really deter this guy from having any bad posability. Now, as you may have guessed, STORMBOMB comes with plenty of options when it comes to weaponry, the first of which are his commas, which can be removed from his shoulders and then wielded along with his chain. Next, if you take the rhinoceros horn on his back and split them, they reveal two sides. Now, these can be wielded akimbo in either direction, and they look rather cool. Of course, they are a little big, and they kind of resemble short swords, but the look works well for him. You can even add on the chain to give it a more ranged look and feel, and let's face it, anything with a chain looks pretty damn cool. Of course, if you want, you can just have him wielding the chain altogether, and I guess that looks pretty awesome as well. With all his different weapons and great articulation, STORMBOMB can definitely assume a wide variety of poses, and definitely has the potential to facilitate multiple play patterns, and I think that's the main draw here. Another thing too is, depending on which weapons you want him to hold and which you would rather just stick to his back, you can give him a look that's unique and very personal to yourself, and I think that's why I like him the best of all the three Fansproject Insecticons. Yes, he does not have the best alt mode, and his transformation is a little bit simpler than the others, but overall I think this robot mode is fantastic, with its sculpt, its silhouette, the way that head is wonderful, and all the different weapons he comes with. I think this is one you should definitely pick up. Anyways, this has been Type V3, thanks for watching, and the fire is on its way.